Welcome back to another episode of Nenad Toronto. Today, I am blessed to interview the Serbian enemy of the state, Rob Stewart, aka Nick Slaughter. Welcome to Secret Garden Restaurant. Oh, actually, I don't have alcohol, so I have to.
Oh, do you have to?
No, yeah.
Bad luck?
It's a bad luck, yeah.
Oh.
I'm not drinking, I'm fasting. How are you? Welcome.
Well, I'm drunker than you.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Yeah.
I mean, I got Knyaz Milos, you got a beer.
I got a beer. Enemy of the state.
Yeah, so tell me, I mean, a lot of people that are watching this will know who you are, but let's, for those who don't, why don't you give us a little rundown of your
I have to?
bio? I mean, a celebrated actor. Rob was on a famous show, Tropical
Heat there.
Tropical Heat, but it was a different name.
Sweating bullets here.
Sweating, that's why I got confused.
Yeah, yeah.
So people in the Balkans know him as Nick Slaughter, who was on Tropical Heat, Sweating Bullets here. And he became a national icon because that was the escape during the war, to watch you chase people. And yeah, let's get into it, man. Let's chat.
Let's get dirty.
Yeah, so tell me about your career. Like, you grew up in Toronto, Brampton.
I have not grown up, but I plan on it soon. No, I did Brampton, and local boy. Yeah, and I accidentally became an actor. That's actually a true story.
Really?
Yeah, I was a writer-director, written, directed 4 movies.
Really?
Yeah, and got writer's block for a year, so I needed money, and I just told my agent, send me out for an audition. I didn't know what I was doing, and it was for Tropical Heat.
Wow.
That was the first one I got. So I had to fail on a pretty international level.
And how did the show do domestically?
It was great. It was CBS. It was a bit, like, for a Toronto boy, that was pretty good, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
CBS.
Where did you shoot it?
Puerto Vallarta, Mexico.
Oh, Mexico.
Yeah, which was cool. Then Israel, second season, just after the first Gulf War. Yeah. So Scud missiles were landing in Tel Aviv when we got there.
No way.
Third season, South Africa, after apartheid, the first show to shoot, American show.
So you're used to collective
Fourth
trauma.
season was supposed to be in Serbia.
Yeah?
I swear to God, that's a true story. War zones. We were only going to war zones.
You're attracted to the collective trauma.
I wasn't, but
the production.
You're the production.
But that's cool. So tell me a little bit about how many seasons did you guys run on the show?
We did 3 seasons back in the day when they were 22 episodes per season.
Oh,
so we did 66 episodes.
That's a lot.
That's a lot.
And you guys were traveling. Were you coming back home in between, or?
Yeah, we'd be 8 months abroad, and then it was a hellish schedule too. It was 6 days a week, 1 day off, like 15 hours a day. So and then we'd be on at 8 months. We'd get our little holiday there and go right back. Yeah.
And then people, let's say, in those countries, did they watch the show, or
no?
Not really.
Yeah, Mexico obviously not, because we hadn't put it out yet.
Yeah.
I don't watch TV anyway, but and especially now since sometimes I'm on it.
Yeah.
Israel, no, they didn't give a toss.
Really?
But when I went to South Africa for the 3rd season, I went out by myself when I got to Pretoria, the capital city, and I went out the first night, and it was empty, but 8 o'clock on a Friday night. And I went in there, and my hair wasn't in a ponytail; it looked like a shaggy dog. But I went in, and I just sat at a table because it was bloody empty, and I was just going to get a quick meal and go. And he came over and said, "Oh, sorry, no, you can't. That table's reserved." I'm looking around. I'm going, "Okay, that table? Like, really? What's going on? There's an empty, bloody place."
What city was this in?
Pretoria, South Africa.
So there's Pretoria.
1993, right?
Okay.
So, yeah, Rodriguez and I hit it at the same time.
Yeah, I was about to say,
that's at the same time. We were listening to it as well.
No way.
That was the same year. So, and I'm like, really? So then I go to the bar. I'm like, I actually prefer that. So can I sit at the bar? It's like, yeah. So the bartender comes up, and I'm like, sorry, don't mean to be rude, but like, every table here is empty, and I can't sit at any of the tables. What's the deal? She goes, oh, well, every Friday night, the biggest show in South Africa comes on, and people go from 8 to 9, and then at 9:15, this place gets flooded.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, really? What's the show? And she was like, Tropical Heat. And then she went back to, I don't get her order something. So I put my hair in a ponytail. And she came back and she dropped the glasses.
That's hilarious.
That's why the place, yes, that was the first time I had. And then at 9:15, by the way, after that, she came and said, you'd sit down where you want. So somebody, there was a lineup snaking out the door for me to sign up. That was my first real sort of, oh, wow, this is crazy time.
So it wasn't your first time getting a taste of the show blowing up somewhere abroad?
No, because Germany, Holland, Spain.
Yeah.
No, the quality was different. It was my son that found out, right? Really? It was about the students, the revolution, the brilliance when overthrowing Milosevic without a shot fired. You know, that was extraordinary.
Yeah.
And to be even, or especially absurdly attached to it.
Yeah.
I didn't even know about it. My son told me, I guess in Christmas 2008, he goes, Pops, I think they want you to be president in Serbia. I was like, what? You know, but it's not about somebody knows you. I mean, it's like, oh, well,
somebody.
No, it's different. It's to be used as a symbol of freedom.
Yeah.
But like that was unique, and I wanted to know the story.
Yeah, well, you were a symbol of freedom for everyone growing up there, and it was, you know, I guess watching you on screen was like an escape from the realities of real-time war.
Yeah.
And I think...
And the beaches, too. You'd lost the beaches.
Yeah. We don't have the beaches.
Well,
we don't have the soccer.
Yeah, for sure.
But that was from what I gathered. Obviously, I grew up here, so when I found out about you when I watched the documentary, and I was blown away. And then everyone back home, like in Serbia or the Balkans, even Croatia, they're like, oh, you don't know Nick Slaughter? I'm like, I grew up here. They're like, well, you should have grown up here because Nick Slaughter is a legend.
That's why you should have grown up here. You should have gone through the war.
Yeah. You should have gotten tougher. But tell me a little bit about like that experience finding out that you were like an icon in Serbia and like what it was like shooting that documentary.
Well, yeah, that's 8 months out of my life compressed into. It was great. Yeah. Well, as I said, around late December 2008, my son, he said that, and I was working on Bizarre Script. My childhood friend, we'd grown up beside each other. Yeah. We both just gotten divorced. Yeah. And we were doing all these fun little projects, like shooting fun little stuff, getting creative together. And so my son said, I think they want you to be president of Serbia. So I immediately texted him on my old BlackBerry, my first cell phone, and just said, meet me out by the fence for a smoke. So we'd come out, in our house coats with Russian hats and meet by the fence and have a smoke and have our talk. And I said, my son, he says they want me to be famous, or they want me to be president in Serbia. And he threw down a cigarette and he goes, well, that's going to ruin my summer. That was it. That was our negotiation to make a movie about it. Yeah. It was just done. The details of how we got were like, a lot tougher than they sound. Yeah. But it was atheist rap. Yeah. And
from Novi Sad.
From Novi Sad, and that was also my son.
Yeah.
Because my buddy, Mark Vaspiuk, co-wrote and co-directed with me, he wrote a letter to atheist rap. Mr. Stewart, he didn't tell me any of this, the idiot. He's writing a punk band and he's saying, Mr. Stewart, being like some corporate or some fucking thing. And they looked at it, I found this out later, they looked at it and just went, who's this pretentious asshole? Yeah. And that would have been the end of it. Yeah. And we never would have made it to Serbia. But my son, independent of Mark and I, he was watching them, I guess he was probably 13 at the time. He was a guitarist. Yeah. And he watched the song they wrote about me. Nice. What's it, Nick Slaughter, Serbia Hails You, or what's the...
Nick, how do you say
Slaughter, Nietzsche, Serbia Teklici?
Yes.
Is that it?
Yes.
Yeah. So he watched that, and he wrote in the YouTube comments, oh, I'm a guitarist. And I just want to say, that's really tasteful guitar licks or whatever. And he goes, by the way, that's my dad you're writing about. And they're like... And Rajale wrote, because of Daniel. Yeah. Because So he got like less of an asshole. Yeah. Less. But then they became our best friends there, and that's how we got the crew. And
amazing. So how was that experience, like landing in Belgrade and being greeted?
It was a reset. Yeah. Well, this isn't news to you, but Canada, the whole thing is self-deprecation. Yeah. and even as a close friend, the more you can take the piss out of me, the more I know we're friends.
Yeah.
It's like a sign of trust.
Yeah.
And just taking the piss out of ourselves. And the Canadian, also that thing of don't get too big for your britches, all that stuff.
I think that stems from like English culture.
It does a lot.
Yeah.
It does a lot. So we were going to make fun of me, or I wanted to make fun of me, make fun of the show, because it's like, oh, I'm going to make a movie about my fame. It's, you know, it's so douchey from the, and it wasn't my point, you know. I thought if we could make it absurd, which it is, because you know, fuck all to deserve it. If you could make fun of me, right? I'm vicious on myself, so it would have been easy. But the moment we got in the airport, we landed there and saw all these guys your size in Hawaiian shirts with tears in their eyes. Yeah. And Mark just said, plan B, man. You make fun of yourself, you're making fun of them. So it's about them, it's not about us. Yeah. And that was really how it was just about,
to be honest,
listening, you know?
I haven't seen the doc since it came out. Like,
nor have I.
Yeah, and I was blown away because I was like a young kid when I saw it, and it stuck with me, and it blew my mind. So I just remember like this presidential, you know, everything presidential. The whole country was there waiting for you. That you got taken around like the president.
Slaughtermania.
Yeah, Slaughtermania, and everybody was blown away. And watching it as a kid who grew up here, but you know, we came during the war when I was 5.
Well, it's also a mix of your culture.
Yeah,
the Serbian, Canadian, right?
And so I was like blown away, and I found out about you, and I was like, this guy's a legend. and the emotional aspect of the film, because I'm assuming you were trying to make a satire because you didn't really get it before you landed.
I was, and then we just switched off. Yeah,
and then I remember it being emotional, and you.
I'll tell you another thing. You know, the whole point, because you're a filmmaker, like everything was the sort of 2 cameras, and as I interview. I think the 2nd or 3rd day, it was like, no more, because I bawled my eyes out every day. Like, it's enough. Forget, like, don't even cut to me crying, because I'm always tearing up. So it was just then about, you guys tell your story, and I'll
because Serbs are very emotional people.
No, but that made me cry, man.
And when they're behind something, they're all in.
So passionate.
You know, Serbia is the first constitution to abolish any kind of slavery in the early 1800s. Yeah, early 1800s, the constitution, once we freed ourselves from the Turks, said any man that steps on Serbian land is a free man.
Oh,
so there's that kind of.
You protected your Jews in World War II.
Everybody,
love.
Yeah, they did some fucked up shit in the '90s, but you know that's politicians and.
Yeah, I know that was a good. You know, that film you're talking about, Slaughter Nick for President. Yeah. The only award we won was in Zagreb.
Really?
And
amazing.
When they gave us Best Documentary, the reason was that they showed us that it wasn't the people who are our brothers. It was the politicians. And that was a really good distinction to make. You know, everybody's painting Serbia with the same.
Yeah, and I see it now with Instagram. You know, I launched my own show, Nem's World Uncut. I got to have you on as a guest because.
Is that a circumcision level?
Something like that. Uncensored. A sketch comedy variety show mixed with a podcast.
Right.
And kind of like SNL format, but we bring in like guests.
Yeah.
We had Mr. Gelio there. He did some funny sketches with me.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he played a babushka of an adult exotic dancer.
Oh,
and
wow.
He was her trainer as her grandma.
Footage on that.
Yeah, it's coming out in 2 weeks. But yeah, so basically we shoot the shit. We talk a lot about our cultures, me growing up here, facing discrimination. Because, you know, on TV at the time, it's like, this is a genocidal nation.
Yeah.
And that's all people know. You know, we see it in the news. It's like, they're just like... they're spinning different countries and alienating different groups in the media. And at the time, it was like tough to be Serbian as growing up as a kid. I thought Serb was a swear word.
Absolutely fair play.
But the bad thing is we've always gotten dealt these like corrupt politicians since the breakup of Yugoslavia, and the people don't. It's not a reflection of who the people are or what our culture is. Our culture is very inclusive. It got voted most welcoming country in Europe. I don't know, some indexes, best nightlife, obviously, it wins that. But I'll segue into that because, you know, the people have this like energy to them to overthrow. And
like no one else. Look at what they did.
We're always
doing it again, man.
We always get these bad apples, but like,
can I just say, like, you're right. It's not, but also the culture that was forced on you after the breakup of Yugoslavia. Like, so there was going to be chaos no matter what. Whatever bad actor took the reins, fine. But also the criminal thing that had to be, like in the 90s, with the sort of normalization of criminality.
Yeah, that was
you could just to survive because with the sanctions, right? That's what's tough to break now in terms of political cohesion and everything. So it's
and you see the biggest. I think it was the biggest student protests of all time, 1.2 million people in Belgrade. So we'll lead into that. Basically, I saw you posted a video and you supported the students in their march and the demonstrations. What is your reasoning behind it? What is your motivation, and how do you feel about it? I should have
to come up with a justification for people having the right to take back their freedom and to object to unconscionable things. Like the argument should be on the other side. You know what I mean? Like, of course I'm on the side. They're the youth. They're the ones that are going to live in that country. They're the ones that have a right to say. And whenever things are being marginalized, whenever, I mean, you know, we're all in the sort of film business, TV, or whatever, whenever like things are nationalized and giving you distorted things, they have a right to protest. They have a right to demand bloody things that don't kill people when they're, you know, public services.
And it was a very peaceful protest.
It still is.
And it's good. It's nice to see peaceful protests in numbers. It's not nice to see what's the word? What's the word in marriage? Compromise.
Don't you dare complain. You're comparing him to like a wife that won't listen. No. No. I know that it's bizarre to me. From, I'm just going to say the government. I don't even want to say the name. That perspective, because it's so clear. It's so infantile, the techniques they're using. The nonsense propaganda. But the further they go without stepping down, the further they force an uncomfortable resolution. And it's sad to me. And I don't know how people sleep at night. I don't know how you keep telling yourself a narrative that's demonstrably not true. But
you know. So tell me about the video. What happened with the video? What did you say in the video?
Well, I'll tell you, Rajale, he's my brother, man. I drink with his dad. We were having a conversation with something else a few weeks ago. And my dad came over, we were having a drink with my 90-year-old father, because I'd had a drink with his father. I love Rajale. But he and his manager was like, Zlatko, he's like, can you just ask Rob to, say something for the students? And I was like, yeah, okay, but, because I've been following it since October, obviously, but I do. And I've had a few people from Serbia write and say, please weigh in and do something. But I feel really, I don't even know how to articulate this, but it's like, who am I to have an opinion? It's like asking an actor and they think they know something about, politics or the situation. But Rajale said, can you do something like that? And, we talked for 5 hours that night till 3 in the morning Belgrade time. And I woke up to a text from him. So he was up before me, like 4 hours sleep, but he woke up with a speech in his mind. And he wrote it to me. And I changed it, put in my own thing, like the Iskra thing. But he had woken up with something that he would like me to say. And that's where and I did it in one take.
Looked natural.
It was.
You had the bogey in hand.
Oh, yeah, I did. I totally forgot I was smoking. That's what I wanted to do.
You related to the average Serb.
I wanted it to be the way Rajale and I were talking, like that passion and that concern, without, sort of contriving it. But that's why.
And basically, what I got from it, you had passion in it. You speak for the people, and why don't you tell me what unfolded next?
I don't. Okay, that's a bit tricky for me because, like, is it called going viral? Is that going viral?
Yeah,
like,
yeah, you went viral. Yeah.
Dude, it was like within an hour.
Yeah, you're enemy of the state. You're proclaimed by the tabloids, but still, who else proclaimed him enemy of the state? Just the tabloids? Yeah, and they're government affiliated tabloids. So, do you have anything to say to Informer while we're here?
Oh, it's such a badge of honor. It's such a badge of honor. Thank you so much. Is any, they're more, you know, one of my favorite gentle, sort of mystic philosophers, a guy named Krishnamurti, Jiddu Krishnamurti. I think he died in 1990 or something like that. But he once said, I'm going to mangle this and paraphrase it, but it was something like it's a badge of honor to be called insane by an insane society.
Yeah.
That's basically saying you're sane. So to be called an enemy of that state, which is not listening to its people, oh, thank you. That's like a Purple Heart of valor, you know?
Yeah.
That's like a Nobel Prize for me.
Are you gonna frame the article and put it on your wall?
No, because the guy doesn't look like me. No, he looks like a perfect, like, if he were, I don't know, if it looked like me. But I'm sure we can. I'm sure we can rev up a better enemy of state more officially. Why
don't we do a comedy sketch of you, like you as the enemy of the state?
I know. How do enemies of the state act?
A day in the life of an enemy of the state.
And I'll just be bumbling around, just trying to get my walker and fixing my coffee with my whiskey.
Oh yeah, we should do that. You wake up, you smoke your dart, you have your coffee. A day in the life of the enemy of the state.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Terribly uninteresting.
Tell me, Nenad wanted me to ask you about Srđa Popović, the founder of the...
Oh, he's my puppet master.
Yeah?
According to the thing.
According to the article?
Yeah.
So are you friends or acquaintances? Or?
Listen, he was the spokesperson for... He was put forward to us, but he's the, I guess, and that way the face of the student revolutions, and it's all true. So yeah, to tell this story to Canada, that was the cleanest story.
Yeah.
Now, I know there's other things about Srđa, and like, I know how he was funded, how he was trained, and Jacques Duvall and Freedom House, all that stuff.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it good or bad, but I know all that stuff. So that's where that conspiracy theory comes from, attaching me to it.
Yeah.
I mean, to be fair, I just told you, like, I do have a puppet master. I am controlled. It's the guitarist of a fucking punk band called Atheist Rap.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because he's a good man. And
right, your speech.
Well, no, not just that. It's like, I don't have I'm not there. But if he tells me, I know it's true because I know him.
Yeah.
That is like...
You're intuitively connected.
100%.
On the astral realm.
Yeah, man. Yeah. But yeah, Srđa, the first time I met Srđa, I mean, you know, we were very cordial with each other. He knew I was a Lord of the Rings fan.
Oh, yeah.
And he's a Lord of the Rings fan. Nerds, right? Yeah, okay. So you're a perfect guy to tell this to. Like, I'm serious. I used to write letters to my late sister in Elvish.
Oh, wow.
Right? And he greeted me doing the One Ring to rule them all in the speech of Mordor.
No way.
Like, why not an Elvish greeting?
You tainted it.
I don't know. It's like, if you're going to speak some language of the many Tolkien made up, you know.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, no, I haven't talked to Srđa since 2009, I think. Yeah. That was all me and Rajale having drinks late at night and drinking with my dad.
Wow. Yeah. So, no, you haven't talked to Srđa since 2000.
I think so. Yeah, I went back in 2013, but I don't think I saw him. No, 2009, I think.
So the last time you were in Serbia was when?
2013.
Wow. It's been a minute.
I would have taken care of things then if I'd known then. We just didn't know.
Yeah, we got to go back. We got to be careful now. We got to bring you in the proper enemy of the state plane.
Just put me in the back of a Lada.
Or we got to bring you in a golden Yugo or something.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I was gonna ask you about your family because I guess on another realm you are associated to Serbia in that regards as well.
I mean, that's what here, like the whole thing. Because you're asking me earlier about being famous in the country. I've been famous in other countries. It's like nice, not the point. Just I'm acting. It's kind of abstract to me.
Yeah.
It's always nice, but it's not a thing in my brain that it's abstract.
Yeah. So, what Serbia means to you and your family outside of the fame?
Yeah. So this is
for those who don't know, because I think most of them won't know that.
This is 1 billion to 1. I mean, more than that. The odds of this, right? Mm-hmm. So yeah, okay. The show was played in a bunch of countries, okay, but in the whole thing of Serbia, like attaching the movement, the student protests and the movement of democracy and freedom to a character I played in Serbia. So when I was 7 years old, my parents, I told her sisters, my parents decided to adopt a child. And they were going for someone younger, like most people do. But my mom saw this 5-year-old boy, 5 years old, sitting in the corner and just unattended. And yes, and she just broke her heart and she adopted him. My dad and my mom adopted my brother John. I was 7, he was 5. And when he went back to find out his sort of records of his birth, Serbian.
Wow.
So I took him. I called him one day about a week after I found out, and Mark and I decided to make the movie. I just said, hey, brother, you're the second most famous guy in Serbia. I'm still the older brother. Because Mark he let it leak out that I had a Serbian brother.
Wow.
And in Žarkovo, there was an urban myth. This is true. This is mad.
No way.
There's a Serbian, or an urban myth that Nick Slaughter had a secret Serbian brother.
And it's true.
It's true.
It's not an urban myth anymore.
And my brother got to go back to his homeland.
Wow.
Not feeling abandoned, but with his head held high like a conquering hero and love. And not only that, this is a kicker. Through that documentary, and it took a few years, they found his family.
No way.
Dude, he went 3 years ago to his brothers. He's like, they've been looking for him. And they found out through this. Can you believe that?
There you have it.
That's my resume.
Fairy tales do come true.
Honestly, the odds of that are 1 billion to 1, man. I was able to put my brother back in touch with his Serbian family who'd been looking for him.
Wow. How did your family feel, the rest of your family feel about it?
I feel like my brother, and this is my brother too, when he told me, man, yeah, because it just breaks my heart, his story.
Yeah.
I thought, like, he was being so, like, calm. And I was just crying on his behalf, right? And I'm like, am I crying the tears you can't or something? Are you in shock? And he goes, no, all I ever want to know is I belong, but I want to make sure you're okay. He wanted to make sure I was okay.
Wow.
That I was still his brother.
Yeah.
He wanted to make sure my mom and dad were okay. Like it's who he is, man. Wow. It's like he'd been through so much more trauma than I can imagine. And he was just like, no, I'm worried about you.
Wow.
And I was like, dude, we're flying, man. We're happy for you.
That's beautiful, man.
Yeah.
That is beautiful.
By the way, he did come up with the best line ever.
What?
He called me from Serbia when I went 3 years ago when he was with his brothers.
Yeah.
And he said, like, oh, Rob, they're very nice. They said you're their brother too, and it's all good. And I was like, oh, that's so nice of them. That's wonderful. He goes, yeah, how's it feel to be the adopted one, bitch? I was like, fair play. That's absolute fair play.
Oh, man. Wow. Yeah. That's a fascinating story.
Isn't that crazy?
That is a fascinating story.
Like one country and it happens to be his.
I think it's there's something divine about it.
It's honestly, I can't. Like it's I don't want to, I couldn't write a science paper on it, but it's like, come on.
Yeah.
It's so stupid.
There's no chance, the probability of all that happening.
It's mad.
Yeah.
It's madness.
It's something from the metaphysical broth.
Yeah.
And that has put you guys together in, that whole scenario.
Isn't that bizarre though? Yeah. It's hard not to, like, I don't like thinking about things like that too much because I don't want to take the magic out, but it's like, come on, man. The odds against that are overwhelming.
That's a beautiful story.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would love.
And so Serbia's got my heart too. Like also that, it's, doing that thing, it's like anything.
Yeah.
Because that stands like a beacon
We got to bring you back when you're good to go.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any final words for the students, the people of Serbia? Any direct messages you want to finish on? The viewers as well.
The viewers as well. Support the truth. Support bright spirits. And it's really easy. It's just black and white. It's where's the joy? And the joy is on the streets right now. That's it. It's such an easy decision when you get away from politics and just say, where's the joy? Where's the love? What's that feeling that is better than, bad feelings? And it's right there. You can see it. Support that. How hard is that?
Well, thank you so much, Rob.
All right, always a pleasure.
There you go, guys. Ladies and gentlemen, Nick Slaughter himself, Rob Stewart. Hopefully we do some more shows. You got to come on my show. We'll get weird on that one. But
I'll be anima of the state. It'll be funny.
All right, there you go. Thank you for watching another episode of Nene Toronto. And don't forget to like and subscribe.
Pumpai, Idinstai, all around the world.